オランダを公式訪問中の天皇皇后両陛下は国王夫妻主催の晩餐会に出席されました。天皇皇后両陛下は現地時間の17日午後7時半ごろからアムステルダム王宮で行われたウィレム・アレキサンダー国王、マキシマ王妃夫妻主催の晩餐会に臨まれました。晩餐会には国王の母ベアトリックス前女王や国王の長女で次の女王となることが決まっているカタリナ・アマリア皇太子、三女のアリアーン王女など王族も出席し、両陛下は最初に記念撮影に臨まれました。その後、両陛下は国王夫妻とともに晩餐会の招待客を出迎えられました。天皇陛下はホワイトタイに燕尾服、皇后さまはイブニングドレスにティアラ姿で共に勲章を着用して臨み、にこやかに招待客らの挨拶を受けられました。その後、両陛下は国王夫妻や他の王族らとともに晩餐会会場に入られました。先頭を歩かれているのが天皇陛下、そしてウィレム・アレキサンダー国王、続いて皇后さまが歩かれています。はじめにウィレム・アレキサンダー国王のスピーチが行われました。
Now, I would like to ask you all to raise your glasses with me. Your Majesties, I wish you good health and happiness to the friendship between Japan and the Kingdom of the Netherlands. 乾杯。乾杯。
そして君が代が演奏されました。続いて天皇陛下がお言葉を述べられます。
King William Alexander and Queen Maxima, Your Royal Highness Princess Beatrix, Huden Font. It is my enormous pleasure to be visiting your country together with Empress Masako at your kind invitation as a state guest, and to have the delight of meeting your Majesties in person once again. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to your Majesties for graciously hosting this beautiful state banquet and for the cordial words of welcome extended to us by His Majesty the King. I would also like to express my deepest gratitude to your Majesties as well as to the Dutch people for the tremendous efforts you have made in preparation for our visit. My first visit to your country was in 1984. During that time, I spent studying in the UK. Although it was a private visit, I have fond memories of being kindly received at the airport by His Majesty King William Alexander, who was a teenaged crown prince at the time, and of sailing on Queen Beatrix's private yacht on Lake Aicel in the company of Your Royal Highness Princess Beatrix, who was Her Majesty the Queen at the time, as well as the late Prince Claus. His Majesty King William Alexander and Prince Constantine. Since then, I have had the honor of being invited to the beautiful wedding of Your Majesties in 2002 and to the magnificent investiture in 2013. It was a great pleasure for the Empress and me to be able to offer our congratulations in person. Furthermore, in 2006, at the generous invitation of Her Majesty Queen Beatrix, I, together with my wife Masako and our daughter Aiko, were very fortunate to enjoy tremendously our summer holidays at Head Aotearoa. We received such thoughtful considerations from Your Royal Highness, Princess Beatrix, and Your Majesties, the King and the Queen, as well as the people of the Netherlands during our stay. The warm hospitality and the care we received there made the relaxing and enjoyable stay in the beautiful setting of Heathrow even more special, and the unforgettable memories of our happy stay remain in the special place in our hearts to this day. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to once again for your kindness on that occasion. Masako and I were also truly delighted and grateful to be able to spend a few days at the beloved Head Aotearoa again, this time at the kind invitation of Your Majesties, the King and the Queen. There was a happy surprise for us upon arrival to Head Aotearoa, namely to be greeted again by koi cups that my parents had donated, and Your Royal Highness Princess Beatrix, together with His Majesty the King, had released in the moat in 1980, and also by the black swan that our daughter Aiko was feeding bread almost every day during our stay 20 years ago. We were happy to see them all joyfully eat the bread we were offering this time once again. When we told our daughter Aiko in Tokyo about her old black swan friend and the koi cups, as well as about seeing some of the same staff members that had taken care of us at Head Aotearoa the last time, Aiko was quite surprised and says she's very touched. The relations between our two countries began when the Dutch vessel, the Liefde, drifted ashore in Japan in 1600. After a voyage fraught with difficulties, even during the period when Japan adopted a policy of national isolation, exchanges between the two countries never ceased. For over 200 years, the narrow 5-meter wide bridge to Dejima Island in Nagasaki served as a link between Japan, the Netherlands, and the Western world. We, the Japanese, learned about Western technology and culture whilst the Dutch trading post there introduced Japanese crafts such as imari ware and lacquerware to Europe, which in turn had a significant influence on your country's Delftware, and as such, we influenced each other. The long-standing exchanges between our two countries are nothing less than the fruit of the extraordinary enthusiasm and efforts of the governments and people of both countries. In the year 2000, events commemorating the 400th anniversary of Japan-Netherlands exchange were held throughout Japan. Your Majesty the King, then the Crown Prince, kindly visited Japan on that occasion. Attending the commemorative ceremonies held in Nagasaki and Oita alongside Your Majesty was a precious opportunity to reflect on this long history of exchanges between our two countries. As we look back on the long history of friendship and exchange between our two countries, we must at the same time never forget that there was once a time of suffering. It is truly sad that many precious lives were lost and many people were injured, including a large number of civilians during the last World War. We must always strive to be modest in learning from our past history, listen to the pains and sorrows of the people with compassion, and must pass on our tragic experiences and hardships to future generations so that such sorrow is never repeated. Bearing in mind that there are those who continue to bear the pain of that time to this day, we must continue earnestly our efforts for peace. After the last World War, Your Royal Highness Princess Beatrix visited Japan as a state guest on two occasions, in 1963 and 1991. In 2000, my parents, Their Majesties the Emperor Emeritus and Empress Emerita, paid a state visit to your country. These visits thankfully fostered mutual understanding and trust between the people of our two countries. I express together with the Empress my deepest respect and gratitude to Your Royal Highness, Princess Beatrix, Your Majesties, the King and the Queen, and the many others who have devoted immeasurable efforts to building friendship between our two countries. I sincerely hope that our two countries will continue to work together for peace in the future. In this connection, I would like to pay tribute to your country's commitment to promoting an international order based on the rule of law. Tomorrow, I plan to visit The Hague, the capital of this country, which is also known as the capital of international law, and to visit there the Peace Palace. The Netherlands is the birthplace of Grotius, known as the father of international law and home to various international courts and organizations, including the International Court of Justice. We have had a personal connection with the ICJ, as mentioned by His Majesty the King. Masako's father, Owada Hisashi, served as a judge at the ICJ for 15 years until 2018, and as its president for 3 years, and I would like to express our deep gratitude to Your Royal Highness Princess Beatrix and Your Majesties the King and the Queen for extending warmest considerations to Masako's parents during that time. Tomorrow, I will also visit Leiden University, an academic institution with deep ties to Japan. Academic exchanges with Japan continue to this day at the university. centered on the Department of Japanese Studies, which was established in 1855 and is Europe's oldest center for Japanese studies. I look forward to the opportunity to talk with students and scholars concerning exchanges between Japan and the Netherlands. When we look at notable achievements of exchanges between our two countries that have been passed down to the present day, flood control is one good example. While both Japan and the Netherlands benefit from the blessing of water, we have also had to face threats from floods and storm surges. Dutch engineers, including Van Doren, Escher, and De Reyke, made significant contributions to the building of Japan's national land infrastructure in the latter half of the 19th century, including flood control, canal erosion control, and port development. Their achievements are still cherished throughout Japan to this day. When His Majesty the King visited our country in 2010, we went together to see the Tone Canal, which was designed and supervised by the Dutch engineer Mulder. A monument stands on the site in honor of his achievements. Today, together with His Majesty, I visited Deltares, a research institute specializing in applied hydraulic and geotechnical engineering in Delft. I was deeply impressed by your country's wisdom and tireless efforts in coexisting with water, as well as by the numerous future-oriented research projects. It also reminded me of how, through bodies such as the United Nations Secretary General's Advisory Board on Water and Sanitation, I have had the pleasure of working with Your Majesty on international activities concerning water issues. I am delighted that Japan and the Netherlands have become partners who will make a widespread contribution to the world in this field. Throughout the history of our nation's exchange, medical science has also played a vital role. Many figures with Dutch connections, such as Siebold, Pompey, and Baudouin, who came to Japan during the Edo period, contributed to the development of Japanese medical science. We are planning this time to visit the Princess Maxima Center for Pediatric Oncology, in which Your Majesty the Queen is passionately engaged. And I hope that research cooperation between Japan and the Netherlands will be put to good use for the sake of our children's future. Sport is another field in which exchanges between our two countries are growing deeper. In speed skating, for example, many Japanese athletes base themselves here for training, and I am touched to see that the Dutch people offer warm cheers when these athletes compete successfully in races. Furthermore, in football, there are currently 9 Japanese players playing in the Eredivisie, the professional league in the Netherlands. And as for the FIFA World Cup match between Japan and the Netherlands on Sunday, Masako and I had the pleasure of watching it on television together with Your Majesties, the King and the Queen, accompanied by their beloved little poodle, Mambo. Upon their kind proposal, the game turned out to be an excellent match, and I must say, I was relieved by the peaceful result. I am certain that the game served as an opportunity to inspire the people of our two countries and bring them even closer. In today's world, we are deeply interconnected across borders in many ways, yet we face a range of challenging global issues, including climate change. Against this backdrop, I am truly delighted that there are numerous areas in which the people of Japan and the Netherlands are working together to lead global initiatives. I earnestly hope that we will join hands to further broaden the scope of our cooperation and strengthen our efforts for the sake of the young people and children who will shoulder the next generation. In my hope that Japan and the Netherlands will continue to build a lasting relationship of friendship and cooperation, may I propose a toast to the continued health of Your Majesties, the King and the Queen, to the further prosperity of our two countries, and to the lasting happiness of our people. Prost.
Prost. 乾杯。
乾杯。
そしてオランダ国歌が演奏されました。お言葉の中で天皇陛下はまずオランダ語でこんばんはと挨拶した後、国王夫妻の招待と歓迎に感謝を述べた上で、1984年イギリス留学中に初めてオランダを訪問して以来のオランダ王室の方々との交流を振り返られました。そして2006年ベアトリックス前女王の招きで愛子さまを連れてヘッドアウデ老城に滞在したことは、温かいもてなしと心遣いによって今でも忘れられない思い出として私たちの中で特別なものとなっていると改めて感謝を伝えられました。また今回ヘッドアウデ老城に滞在した際、 当時愛子さまが毎日のようにパンを与えていた1羽の国鳥と再会したこと、上皇ご夫妻が寄贈した鯉が元気に出迎えてくれたことは嬉しい驚きだったとし、東京にいる愛子さまにこうした再会を話したところ、愛子さまが非常に驚いてとても感動したと話したことも明かされました。さらに400年以上にわたる両国の友好と交流の歴史を振り返る上で、過去に苦難の時期があったことも同じく決して忘れてはなりませんと述べ、先の大戦の中で多数の民間人を含む多くの尊い命が失われ、多くの人が傷ついたことは誠に悲しむべきことであります。私たちは絶えず謙虚に過去の歴史から学び、悲しみを繰り返さないよう悲惨な体験や苦労を後の世代に伝えていかなければなりませんと話されました。その上で、今なお当時の痛みを追い続けている人々がおられることに思いをいたし、平和への努力を続けていかなくてはならないと思いますと訴えられました。また今回サッカーワールドカップの日本対オランダ戦を国王夫妻とテレビ観戦したことにも触れ、引き分けに終わったことにピースフルな結果にほっとしましたとユーモアを交えて話されると、会場からは笑いが起きていました。お言葉の最後は、両国が永続的な友好親善と協力関係を築いていくことなどを願い、オランダ語で乾杯と発声されました。現地時間の18日、天皇陛下は政治の中心ハーグを訪れ、上下両院議長との懇談やフェルメールなどのコレクションで有名な美術館マウリッツハウスで行われる首相主催の昼食会などに臨まれる予定です。オランダを公式訪問中の天皇皇后両陛下が出席された国王夫妻主催の晩餐会の様子をお伝えしました。